This video is sponsored by Dubby Energy. Stick around at the end of the video to see how you can save 10% off any purchase. Hey guys, this is Acid Drinks with a review on Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Here, I'll give you my honest review on what I thought of the game. Here you can see that I have all the achievements and about 30 hours into the game. Now without further ado, let's get into it. Story. The story begins with a hidden Jedi named Cal Kestis, who has been hiding since the events of Order 66 from Star Wars Episode 3. He has been hiding out on a planet called Bracca, where he works as a crew member taking apart old cruiser ships and selling them for money. There, he befriended Prauf, who has been working on the ships since before the wars. As time goes on, he is hunted down by Inquisitors, specifically the 2nd and 9th Sisters, that you encounter on Bracca. From there, he is rescued by Seer and Grease, both with a dark backstory that you find out later in the game. Then begins your adventure where you go to 5 different planets. Bogano, the planet with rocky structure and the ruins of the Jedi. Zepho, the home planet of the mysterious race also named Zepho. Kashyyyk, the home planet of the Wookiees. Dathomir, the planet who the likes of Darth Maul originates from. And Ilum, the planet where Jedis go through training with their masters to get kyber crystals for their lightsabers. Throughout the adventure, you meet new allies and also new foes. But enough of that for warning of spoilers. Let's get into the gameplay. Gameplay. Here's the thing. The gameplay is very good. It has your typical hack and slash adventure game with small quick time events in about the same style of God of War and Dante's Inferno. You have your light attacks, heavy attacks, and as you progress through the game, you unlock new force abilities like pull, push, slow, and even how to throw your lightsaber, and double jumping. However, if there is a big issue I found with the game is there are some mechanics that end up getting mentioning that doesn't work very good. Early in the game, you get a message letting you know how that if you drop down from one area, you will auto-grab to the one below. The only instances I found that this was true was on a ledge or bar or a pipe to grab onto. But if you're wall climbing and you have to land on a lower part that you're also wall climbing on, you don't auto-grab. In fact, after trying for a couple of minutes of button mashing, there was no way to grab onto a wall dropping from like this example. Combat, however, was very good. If you got good enough, you could easily go through and fight enemies without being touched by either parrying or dodging out of the way. And with a large amount of variety of enemies from each planet, it always keeps you on your toes. After this, the collectibles to find made you explore every area you could, finding chests with new lightsaber materials and components that are purely cosmetics, or clothes for Cal and BD-1, or even the ship you travel on. The last thing I will touch on is your typical RPG game skill tree. There's so many, but not too many skills that you pick up on to help with survivability, force, and combat or lightsaber abilities. There are enough that you'll stay happy with the variety, and with new upgrades as you progress through the story, this will likely keep you busy to hone your skills as a Jedi. Achievements/trophies. Now, time to talk about achievement or trophy hunters. This game wasn't that bad when it comes to achievements. If you just go around doing bare minimum, meaning you just do the story, then you're done, you'll get about a third of the achievements. Another third would be combat challenges that you can do, which are not difficult in the slightest, and after beating the game, you unlocked a thing called Meditation Circle, where you can choose what enemies you fight, and you can grind out the last bit of enemy fighting without struggling too hard. The last third are going to be collectibles and 100% completion. This means you need 100% exploration on every single planet, as well as all secret upgrades and chests and backstory notes called echoes. Even after all of this, the hardest achievement was exploring everywhere, because on your map there will be places you can't access to until you get new upgrades, but even then you'll see yellow markers telling you areas you haven't been to. Unless you have, you just haven't explored that tiny little island off the beaten path, or you didn't backtrack after going into one spot. That being said, by the end of the game and doing cleanup for achievements, I had about 90% of each planet found, save for a few hidden spots in each map. Now, thankfully, each planet is split up into sub-areas that let you know what you're missing and a percentage of how much of that area still needs more exploring. All in all, with guides, it's not very difficult and is easily done with some persistence and want for getting all the achievements in this game. Replayability. After beating the game, you unlock New Game Plus. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's every upgrade you amassed throughout the game on your first playthrough. You now have a second go-round to act like a fully fledged Jedi, taking on the world like a true Jedi Master. There is for sure a lot of replayability in that, because who doesn't want a New Game Plus where you now feel like the most powerful person in the universe? No one. That's who. Before I give my personal score, let me tell you about the sponsor we have for this video. Are you always tired while gaming because of work, family, stress? Well, I recommend using Dubby Energy. It's a powder-like protein drink that you add to water and drink it throughout the day, and that's what keeps me going. With flavors like Dragonade, which is dragon fruit and pink lemonade, Galaxy Grenade, watermelon, guava, and lime, and even Dub Sludge, Granny Smith apple, there are flavors that meets everyone's taste. Packed full of vitamins that help keep you awake and give you the energy you need without the crash. Go to dubby.gg and at checkout use code ACID, that's AC1D, to save 10% on any purchase. Ending thoughts. All in all, here's my honest answer. This game to me is only a 6.5 out of 10, maybe a 7 out of 10. Would I recommend this game? Absolutely. Mainly because it's on the Xbox Game Pass as of this recording. Otherwise, I believe it goes on sale quite frequently. Last price I saw was about $10. The combat was great, very fluid between dodging, parrying, attacking, and using the force was perfect, well blended. When I started feeling like this game was a lot like 2018's God of War, the game became that much better for me. The main story was an absolute masterpiece, if it wasn't for the pacing of it. Having to go to one planet and try and fully explore it only to be stopped by a jump that you miss by like half an inch is so frustrating when you know you can make it. Then the fact that you just get chased out of areas by enemies only to leave to go to a new planet just to come back to it later. The map on Zepho is so infuriatingly confusing because using the map was not as easy as you hoped because everything overlaps each other because it's a hologram. There'd be times where you want to explore but feel pressured just to do the story and come back to do the exploration, but areas in Dathomir have enemies that just swarm you and you can't escape them unless you actually fight them. Kashyyyk has too much water for my liking because no one likes the water level in games, and then you have to dive down and slow down your momentum that you had. However, the puzzles were just the right amount of make you think but not so difficult that you need a guide to figure it out. Would I replay the game? Probably not, now that I have all the achievements, but I will for sure recommend the game for anyone who likes Star Wars. And that's it. That right there is my review on the game Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Did you agree on my rating? If so, go ahead, leave a like, maybe even subscribe. And if not, leave a comment and tell me what you thought of the game. Until next time, this was an Acid Drinks review.